Well, I'd like to talk to everybody today about moving their business forward. We all know it's been a very rough, a strange year for businesses. And November, for me personally, is usually the time that I start thinking about budgeting and next year and where's the business going. My name is Denington from Service with Style, Secret Shopping and Consulting. We work with a lot of restaurants that are in a very strange place right now. Sitting down to do a budget usually means you know exactly where your consistent sales were from the previous year, and you take those and you move forward. Well, the budgeting process is completely different. So here's what I would like every business to do right now is hit the pause button from operations and get your leadership group together and sit down and have a year end recap slash planning meeting for next year. And you talk to the key people in your organization about what you've done this year, right? We've all pivoted and redirected our businesses. Well, what worked and what didn't? If you take a little time and put this topic of moving forward to the leadership team, we're going to talk about the failures from this year, and that's fine. And we're going to learn and grow from those. And then you naturally progress the conversation to what does next year look like? A lot of the companies we've worked with have changed their concepts, right? Restaurants have went from full service to just dine out or just third party deliver. Some have opened up patios and others have went to counter service. What worked? What hasn't? And you take the consistent pieces that have worked for your financials and for your operations, and you work on those to get better and better. What you're going to need to do is take a look at your revenue sources for next year, because we don't know where we're going with the virus. Yes, there's positive news, but today it's still pretty rough. And we're now 8 or maybe even 9 months into this and trying to figure out what genuinely works for our customers. So when you start planning for next year, I want you to look at your budget, which means you have to look back and then you have to forecast for next year. I want you to look at your model, what worked and what didn't for operations and financials. I want you to look at your customers. What have they enjoyed this year? How have they frequented your business? What has worked for your customers? And do all this in one brainstorming session with your leadership group. And every good meeting that you have, every single one has to get to an action list, right? If you have your priorities and your agenda going into the meeting, then you can easily outline the actionable steps coming out of it. And I would put together this as your new priority, right? Call it moving forward. What does 2021 look like for your business? And create your priorities. Get together on one page with your management team so you know what you're working on. And that means planning, and that means discussing what worked and what didn't. So I hope 2021 can really move forward, but there's still so much turbulence out there that we just don't understand. So talk about it, plan it, forecast it, budget it. And here's to a better year next year.